Hi, this is Mr. Russo. This is a short lesson on solving one-step equations involving adding and subtracting. Okay, let's just jump right into example 1. X minus 5 equals positive 12. First, I have to understand why I know that this is adding and subtracting, or involving adding and subtracting. If I look in between the x, my variable, and the number, as long as I have a plus or minus sign in between, without parentheses or anything else that's crazy, I know I'm adding and subtracting here. So it's going to involve addition or subtraction. If I had something like this, then I would have definitely no plus or minus in between, because it's not there. And when there's no sign, it indicates that it's multiplication. So I know I'm adding or subtracting here. So how do I solve this? I always do what's called the inverse or opposite operation. All right, so right here it's x minus 5. So to get rid of a negative 5, I always look to the left of the number to determine what sign that number has. So I'm not looking to the right, I'm always looking to the left. So the 5 is negative. To get rid of it, what's the opposite? Positive. So I add 5 to both sides. Whatever you do to one side of the equation, I do to the other side. So here are the two sides. There's the left side of the equation, the right side of the equation, and I go to the side of the variable and get rid of anything that's around the variable on that left side. Okay, so this is gone. I bring down my variable, my x. When the signs are the same, we add and keep the sign, so we get 17. So x equals 17. All right, let's go to number 2. A little bit lower. All right, once I write this down, you should try and pause the video and see if you can solve it by yourself. Okay, try pausing it and solving it. Okay, here's the solution. So I look to the side where the variable is. Here's my variable, x, and I know if I'm looking at the 15, I look to the left of the 15, I see a positive. The opposite of that is negative, so I subtract 15 from both sides. Subtract 15, that's gone. I bring down my variable, then I use my rule number 3 in our class. When the signs are different, we subtract, take the sign of the larger, answer is negative 1. X equals negative 1. Okay, next problem. Five minus x equals 12. This problem is a little bit different because here is my equal sign. To the left, I see my variable. I want to get that alone. That means get rid of the 5, but then there's also a negative attached to the x. I'm going to tell you a quick and easy rule to get rid of that negative that's attached to the x. First, I establish that the 5 is, looking to the left, positive. So I subtract 5 from both sides. Get rid of the 5's. I bring down the negative. I bring down the x. And I get, okay, when the signs are different, we subtract and take the sign of the larger. So I subtracted, took the sign of the larger number, which is positive 7. And I call this the change rule. Whenever I have a negative variable, really, in order to get rid of the negative, I divide both sides by negative 1. Dividing by negative 1 is going to then change the sign, no matter if this is positive or negative. It's always going to be the opposite sign by dividing by negative 1. So I just say change the sign of this side and change the sign of that side, and it works out correct mathematically every time. So it's going to be x equals negative 7. All right, try one on your own. Number 4. Pause it, try it on your own. Okay, here's the solution. I look to the side where the variable is. I establish that positive 4 is the one I want to get rid of. So they do the inverse operation. Get rid of the number. Bring down my variable, negative x in this case. When the signs are different, we subtract and take the sign of the larger number, positive. Do the change rule. Answer is done. Okay, look forward to the next video coming up soon.